Hi guys, and welcome to a Hector lecture guide to the fight Shinryu's Domain Unreal. This is Shinryu. Only positions you need for this fight are these pair positions here. These are relative positions with group 1 going left, group 2 going right, and tanks and melees going towards the boss, healers range going away. A couple things to know about this fight before we begin. Throughout phase 1, you're going to see this Worm's Heart ad start to spawn on the boss, and the boss is filling a corrupted ether gauge that when it gets to 100, they cast an ultimate attack. The Worm's Heart needs to be DPS down as soon as you see it, otherwise, if it's still alive when the corrupted ether bar ultimate attack goes off, you wipe. Secondly, you're going to get casts from the boss, but you're also going to get casts from both the left wing and the right wing. These cast bars are harder to see, so I recommend checking the enmity list to be able to see what attacks are going off. You can also look at the boss itself, as you'll see colorful rings on the wing when it's doing an attack, signifying which wing is attacking and what element they're using. I always just find it easier to look at the cast in the enmity list. Finally, we're also going to get this green marker here. This marker signifies that the boss is about to attack that player with a tail. This player can position the tail where they want to by going to a specific tile. The tail is going to appear in the same lane and on the side nearest to where the player dropped the marker. Once the marker disappears, you can move away. The tail will appear, and the tail is always going to slap the two tiles directly in front of it. Any cracked tiles are going to break, and any undamaged tiles are going to be cracked. As long as the tail lands on one undamaged tile, meaning that not both of the tiles broke through, the tail will become targetable and you can do some damage to it. If the tail is only hitting either cracked or missing tiles, it falls straight through and you miss out on a bunch of DPS, so don't do that. Additionally, if at any point in time the middle tile gets completely broken, it's a wipe. To make this really simple, regardless of what happens to the tiles earlier, you can always do the following. When a healer gets targeted, they're always going to drop their tail on the 1 marker in the bottom right. When the tank gets targeted, they're always going to drop their marker on the bottom left on the 3 marker. And for DPS, it's either the 2 or the 4 marker, and to decide this, simply look at the middle tile. If it's undamaged, stay there and drop the tail there on the 4 marker. If the middle tile is cracked, you're going to the 2 marker instead. Before we start the fight proper, be aware that there's double auto attacks here. One of these is on the top player in aggro, so one tank needs tank stance on, but the other tank gets targeted automatically, as long as they're alive. As the fight begins, the Worm's Heart is targetable, so immediately start attacking it, as the boss is already filling its corrupted ether gauge quite quickly. Once the corrupted ether bar gets full, the boss will cast Earth and Fury for heavy raid-wide damage, destroy the 2 tiles on the sides, and crack a couple of others. There's 2 possible patterns that can crack the tiles here, but all that matters is you do what I mentioned with the tail earlier. The DPS here can pay attention and realize middle tile is cracked, so when it's their turn to drop the tail, they're dropping it top left on the 2 marker. Start by stacking up on the 4 marker. The boss is going to cast Tidal Wave, and players are about to get chained together. For now, let's focus on the chains. These chains will always tether a tank to a tank, healer to healer, and DPS to each other. Run out to your pair positions, and this will break the chains automatically. Afterwards, we deal with a Tidal Wave. This is heavy raid-wide damage, but also comes with a big knockback. Simply pop knockback immunity when the cast bar is about halfway through, and then you can go stand middle together. If you forget like off-tank did here, you get a very big knockback, so position accordingly next to the Tidal Wave. This will spawn some water circles, which we'll use in a little bit. Now the first healer is going to get targeted. The first tail target is always on the healer, so both healers can cheat towards the bottom right after that initial mechanic. The targeted healer is going to drop theirs on the 1 marker. Watch out because left wing is casting Summon Icicle. After the marker disappears on the healer, they can rejoin everyone middle, and look behind you because the icicles are going to spawn on either the left side or right side of every tile in the back. Simply dodge to the safe half of the tile. After the icicle shoot, the tail will land, and you want to DPS it down as quickly as you can. The right wing will either be casting Hypernova, which is a fire stack, which means you need to stack in water to limit the damage, or Leavenbolt, which are spreads, and because it's lightning, you don't want to be in a water puddle. Kill the tail, and then, because we have Hypernova here, the whole party's just going to stack together in the middle water puddle. Had it been Leavenbolt instead, we would have spread and avoid water. You can YOLO these spreads, there's no assigned positions that you need. Watch out, because right about now is when the Worm's Heart will become targetable again, so start to DPS it down. This circle here means get away from it, so simply walk out of it by going north. At the same time, the left wing will be casting Ice Storm, which is just raid-wide damage, so prepare to mitigate and heal through it. We now get Aukmorn. This is a tank buster. It's meant to be shared and it's targeted on the top player in aggro. You can either have tanks stacked together to share it, or one tank can take it with invul. The rest of the players can spread, because one random player is going to get targeted with an Okrai, which is a persistent puddle they just walk out of because it keeps repeating in the same location. The Tank Buster hits for 3 hits. Right about now, the Corrupted Ether bar is full again, so we're getting either Judgment Bolt or Hellfire. Both of these are hard-hitting raid-wides. Judgment Bolt is electric, so don't go in water. Hellfire is fire, so you go in water to minimize the damage. Here we'll show Judgment Bolt. This always comes with a Summon Icicle just beforehand, so watch out for the icicles, dodge to the safe side of the tile, and then mitigate the damage. Judgment Bolt will do heavy raid-wide damage, and also give 1 to 4 random players paralysis. You can assume to this off healers. Had it been Hellfire instead, while we're dodging the icicles, we go position ourselves on a water puddle. The Hellfire, raid-wide, comes with a dot as well. Afterwards, it's the DPS's turn. The second player targeted is always a DPS, so they're going to drag their tail, in this case, up to the 2 marker, as the middle is currently cracked. Everyone else needs to prepare for 11 Bolt. We spread out. You don't have to worry about the tail yet, you can dodge to middle after the 11 Bolt. And then watch out because the tail is going to slam down right up in the front. Target the tail, and watch out for the Ice Storm raid-wide that's coming from the left wing. We're now going to get chained together. This time it's only support, so stack together on the 4 marker. And you can use the same spreads that I showed earlier, but I recommend healers break their chains by having group 1 left, group 2 right, but up in the front for this one. The reason being that this time, after a Worm's Heart appears, we get Earth Breath. This targets a healer and a DPS with these markers here. They need to run up to the front, healer on the left, DPS on the right, to make sure they don't clip anyone with these conal AoEs. The Earth Breath AoEs give a dot on the player's hit. 1 dot is spicy, but if you overlap these AoEs, any player who gets both is taking huge damage and will likely die. We get another Ockmorn. So once again, have the tanks share this. This time 2 players get Okrais, so more players need to watch out and dodge, and you want to be quick out of this because it's followed immediately by an Ice Storm raid-wide, so getting hit by the Okrai too much will probably kill you. Next ultimate attack is Diamond Dust. For this one, everybody needs to stand perfectly still as all the tiles are about to freeze, but before the cast goes off, the healers want to go up to the front tiles and stack, offset to one side. The raid-wide goes off, the healers are chained together, and now one of the healers needs to slide away. You don't have to have both healers slide, just one of them sliding is enough to break the chain, as long as you were stacked together at the start. Afterwards, we get these 4 Raryu ads, but we're not killing them, we need to heal them to full to get rid of them. If you don't heal them in time, they're going to enrage, which has them jump up, slam down, cause a bunch of damage, and also give you a damage down. Healers need to single target focus these to heal them to full. At the same time, we get the 3rd tail slam. This is always going to be on a tank, so that tank is always going to take it down to the 3 marker. They're likely going to have to jump across to get there. They drop their tail, and then they can rejoin the party while healers focus on healing up the ads. The 3rd tail is going to slam down, and we DPS it down like before to do damage to the boss. Watch out as there might be a Worm's Heart. If you ever get a heart and a tail at the same time, focus the tail as it's going to disappear quicker. During this Worm's Heart, we get another Summon Icicle. And during this Icicle, we're now going to position with tanks away from the rest of everyone else, because we're going to get an Ockmorn during it. Have the tanks stacked together, and everybody else wants to watch out as the Okrai is going to be positioned quite close together. Afterwards, the Corrupted Ether bar is full again, so you hopefully have killed the heart. This time it's Aerial Blast. Stack on the 4 marker. You're going to get knocked back north. Go back to middle, you'll get knocked back again, and about halfway through the cast bar, pop your knockback immunity. When the cast bar finishes, you get huge raid-wide damage and a giant knockback, but you can just completely ignore this to make the next mechanic simpler, as the cast bar finishes, we get chains. DPS are the only ones chained together, they can simply stack on the 4 marker, and then go to their usual pair positions. Afterwards, have healers start to cheat towards the front left and DPS towards the front right, as there's another Earth Breath. This comes with an Ice Storm immediately afterwards, so healers watch out. The boss will now teleport away, fly up, and appear on an intercardinal. This is a dive bomb through the middle, so run to an adjacent intercardinal to dodge it. Afterwards, the boss will become targetable again, and mechanics repeat until you get the boss below 44%. Once that happens, the boss will become untargetable, cast Dark Matter, and all the players get chained up. You get an active time maneuver. case you're not familiar with this, you're rolling your face on the keyboard as fast as you can. Any key press or any button press helps to fill the gauge, and when you fill it in time, you and the rest of the party will land safely on a brand new stage. Immediately run to the north of this platform. That's because there's a proximity marker, and the boss is going to land and knock you back onto another platform off in the north. As soon as you land on this platform, run to the north of this one, more proximity AoEs to mitigate and heal through. And these drop down some adds. These are pretty quick and easy to kill. Watch out for the big one. The big one needs to be taken by a tank because it will cast tank busters, so have your tanks pick up these adds, and if you see a death sentence cast go off, tanks mitigate it. Kill these adds, and go back to the north as there's another set. Second set is exactly the same, except for this time there's going to be 2 big adds. Off tank, make sure to provoke one so you definitely have aggro on one, and the main tank doesn't have both. Kill these, and now you get 5 AoEs on random players. Take these out to the edge of the arena and spread them, because you can't overlap 2 or the eggs that drop from them will explode. I say eggs that will drop because we are now positioning the proximity markers for the 3rd wave of adds. Drop these on the edge, and now everybody stack middle to avoid the damage. Kill the final set of adds, this time all small ones, and prepare for an ultimate attack. Mitigate and heal through this. And now position for a knockback. Just on the edge of the circle, position to get knocked back diagonally. Afterwards, run onto the tail, because you can now mount Shinryu. You need to run across back to the other platform, watching out for these telegraphed lasers. They won't do much damage, but they stun you for a couple seconds, making it possible you won't get across in time. Dodge the lasers, and as soon as you get across to the new platform, jump off to safety. Throughout this whole phase, there is a doom puddle underneath Shinryu. If you stand in there for too long, 10 seconds, you will die. If you walk into it, you can simply walk back out and the doom will fall off, so don't worry too much if you have to dip into it for a second. I'm just going to hide Shinryu because big. And there's only a few mechanics in this phase. Terror Slash is a tank buster, does heavy damage, so mitigate it, and also have off-tank provoke because it needs a tank swap. Atomic Ray, have everybody stacked together on the hitbox arrow. Chains are going to appear, and we break these relatively the exact same way as before. Group 1 left, group 2 right, melees towards the boss, ranged away. You see we've placed waymarks. If you've killed the boss once, you can place these waymarks and use these as a guide to be able to help you with this. This leaves us in pairs, which is perfect because we're going to have to do pair stacks immediately afterwards. Focus on making sure your tether is broken, and then make sure you're with your partner. Now we get a double wing attack, and the wings mechanics work slightly different in this 3rd phase. Ice Storm does raid-wide damage, but also you need to be moving at the end or you're going to be frozen in place. Levin Bolt is, instead of doing spread AoEs, is going to drop twisters. What you want to do is you want to move after the cast bar finishes, as the AoEs are targeted where you used to be standing. For this combo here, just make sure that you're moving as the Ice Storm cast finishes, so you don't get frozen, and then once Levin Bolt finishes casting, move. Try to stay on the hitbox arrow while doing your Ice Storm dance so that you can bait all of the puddles from Levin Bolt together. If you got this wing combo instead, Ice Storm and Hypernova, this one's even easier. Stand on the hitbox arrow and don't move. Ice Storm will freeze you in place, but that freeze is going to ensure that you don't die to the stack from Hypernova as the ice mitigates the fire damage. This will also unfreeze you so you don't stay frozen for long. Only a few mechanics left. Benighting Breath is a conal AoE, you simply walk out of it because it's telegraphed. Worm Whale is an untelegraphed donut. For this one, you're going to run underneath the boss to dodge this. Make sure you get out of the doom quickly enough so you don't die to the doom. We'll get more of these adds that need to be healed to full, and mechanics will repeat until eventually Shinryu will cast Tidal Wave. This is the Enrage sequence. Go into one of those circles on the side of Shinryu to jump on top of Shinryu. While up here, you can target the wings to kill Shinryu. One of the wings is going to start casting its ultimate attack before the other one, and that's the one we're going to target first. So left wing started the cast first, so we start to kill left wing. Then kill right wing. Each wing you kill does huge damage to Shinryu. Afterwards, jump off and start DPSing down Shinryu to finish the fight. Kill Shinryu before Tidal Wave goes off, or it's game over. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed.